Good evening, everyone. I guess at this point in time, we didn't have anybody else on our show for tonight. I didn't know that. So it's just us. Just you, me, and the fence post, and that's okay. We can do this thing. We can do this thing. So there we are. Here we are. So, yep. Okay, let's get ourselves to work here. No, Can's here now. There's Can.
Ah.
I now that we've discovered how to change the aspect ratio of the camera thing, I'm much more dramatic.
There you go. So I'm having a mildly terrifying evening this evening.
Are you mildly terrifying?
Yeah. So I want to get your opinion on something. I'm driving down 25 heading north. Okay. I'm doing the speed limit.
Okay.
I come to what is essentially an exit ramp. Okay, but it's not my exit.
Okay.
Okay. So all of a sudden, I have a cop who goes 2 inches off my bumper and turn on all of his lights. Like, he isn't flashing any colors. He's not pulling me over. He just has all of his lights on me.
Is this at night?
Yes.
Okay, so he turned on his... Now, when you say all of his lights, he wasn't turning on his blues and reds. He turned on, like, his stingers on the side.
And the bar up top, and it was just white.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I moved over onto the on-ramp, and then he shot past me and turned onto the on-ramp in front of me and went wildly past.
Yeah.
It was like I was impeding his movement.
No, he was looking to see if you were the person he was looking for. Either something happened in a vehicle that was similar to yours, and so they were looking for the vehicle, or something. And that's typically what they were doing. And so he was shooting the upper bar lights that can shoot straight in. They go right into the car, so he can see whether there's 1, 2, 4, or 7 people in the car. So probably what he got was a car matching your color. An auto, any car, passenger car of that color with 5 people in it was seen doing X, Y, or Z. So he came up on your car, seeing it was the color he was looking for. He then shot his lights into the cabin to see if there were 5 people in there. There weren't. You got out of his way. He continued on trying to look for this car that's up in your area that apparently matches a description of some sort. I actually had somebody do that to me a while back, and it was the same thing. I came off of the I was on 36 and I came off the ramp onto Federal, and there was this truck behind me that was inches off my back bumper, and he had like gazillion lights, and I was like, really? And I'm like, and it was not blues and reds, just like what you were talking about, just the spots. Good night, Sarge, good to see you. Just the spots. So I came up to the yield sign, and I floored it, putting in all the turbo, wrapping through the gears, and he didn't move. He stayed right on my bumper. And it was right about that point where I'm like, something's not right. You shouldn't be staying with me. I have the advantage there's no replacement for displacement. I had the advantage, and I was wrapping my turbo. So I was like, you shouldn't be sticking with me unless you've got something under your hood that was like that. And I'm like, that's either a cop or somebody really wants me. And they're, and as I went under a street light, I could see the rack of lights on top. And I was like, oh, you're a cop. So I laid off of it. And then when I came around the corner on 72nd, he pulled up next to me and he goes, you okay? I'm like, I'm fine, officer. You okay? And he goes, yeah, you probably shouldn't be doing a 60 and a 45. I'm like, you got it, officer. Let him go. He let me go. We both went our own ways. Because he was menacing me. So I was going to dust him. I was going to, because I've got the power for it. So I was like, I was going to dust him, but he stayed with me because cop cars are supercharged. So you can't, I can't dust a cop. They're supercharged.
Well, and I'm in my Santa Fe, so I'm in my black SUV. Yep. I'm not getting away.
No.
This was
he must have gotten a call that said that there was a black SUV involved in an incident, and it had 5 people in it, or 4 people, or 2 people. Something not you.
Yeah.
So when he hit you with his bar, he could see inside that there was only one person. You didn't match his description. You got out of his way because you did what you were supposed to do, and then he continued on looking for whoever he was looking for. That's all. That's one of the gripes I have, is that this is acceptable behavior. You weren't the person they were looking for. And I don't think that's acceptable. I don't think it was acceptable what the cop did to me either. I think that was unacceptable behavior. I probably was being a little juvenile trying to dust him, but still kind of feel like that wasn't acceptable behavior. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like what that cop was doing with you was not acceptable, and what the cop did with me was not acceptable. As a driving instructor, that caused both you and I to drive erratically and dangerously, potentially.
Yeah.
And, as a driving instructor, I find that to be appalling. Sorry, go ahead.
And, before that, on 136, I had a guy, come up next to me and get, 2 inches off my side and start revving his engine like he wanted to drag race me. And it's and so what I did was I hit my brakes so that I would go in behind him so that he knew I wasn't going to drag race him. It's and that's all in the matter of about 5 minutes. I am now mildly terrified of driving right now because Denver has lost its damn mind.
We've gone insane. What the hell's going on? I can see that. Yeah, there's some nights that are like that. As I tell my kid, 1 out of every 1,000 drivers is a bad driver. If you're in a city full of 1,000 people, you'll run into that one bad driver once a year. If you're in a city like Denver, where we have 50 million people, you're going to run into 1 million bad drivers, which means 6 every day. Just by the odds.
Yeah, but I don't want them all at once.
You ended up with them all at once. Yep. It's funny. Who would want to race your SUV? I mean,
I don't know.
I
Apparently,
that's such a
someone
weird
really thinks
reaction.
the Santa Fe's are like the car to go against in a street
I know,
race.
right?
Nothing beats a supercharged Santa
Right?
Fe.
What the hell I mean, at least my car is fire engine red. You know what I mean? Like, at least it looks like it's asking for a fight. You know?
Mine is black with
Right.
the wax layer peeling off. I think
That's what I mean. I'm like, at least my car looks like it's asking for a fight. It's so weird. That's so strange. I don't know, man.
so. That was my evening. It's like, what the? I just want to go home.
Right? Can I just go home, please? So I posted my comic this morning, and I didn't see much of a reaction out of it at all. That was kind of weird. Which makes me think that Facebook has drowned it somewhere, you know?
Well, and on Facebook and Twitter has been acting weird today.
Yeah.
So
Because nobody's seen it. Brent
I saw it.
Brent saw it over on the GS Davis Arts side, but out on my normal page, it's gotten no traction at all. That's really strange.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah. Hey, Brent. Brent, you were apparently the only person who saw my comic today. That's very strange. Yeah,
I
mean
saw
that.
your
I mean that
comic.
in a sarcastic way, and not literal.
Yeah,
It didn't get a lot of traction. So,
but yeah, I'm confused. So what is this 8-page thing that you and Pepper are gonna do tomorrow?
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, to tell you the honest to goodness truth.
Because that's like 4 pages an hour, and
Yeah,
I can't even.
and
do
he
that
just
much.
kind of decided we were doing it. I mean, legitimately, I'm game for something silly like this. This sounds like a fun distraction from the work that must be done anyway. But it is kind of like, well, okay. But I still think the funniest part about it was all of our comments about you. That was the hysterical part of the entire
Yeah,
discussion. You'd be doing all you know. Okay, I got page 1 done. You're like, I've got all 8 pages. Do you want me to do 2 more? Maybe I'll do 4 more pages, just for hell of it. And, you know, it's 10, 15. Or like, really?
I'm fast. I'm not that fast, guys.
Oh no, but it's funnier. It's like when we talk about my wife and how she's, you know, going to kill me if I do X, Y, or Z. She's never going to really kill me if I do X, Y, or Z. You know? But it's part of the caricature of her. Yeah, Brent, we were talking about my comic strip today. I posted a spring strip, and literally you were the only one who liked it and or even responded to it. And I'm like, what happened, Facebook? Nobody saw it. I usually have a cadre of like 4 or 5 friends that always like them because they know that gives it traction. So the fact that they didn't means that they didn't see it, which means that Facebook has
And I also don't see it now.
right?
Like, I saw it earlier today, but I'm not seeing it
Right.
now.
It's got no traction. Something, they shuffled it down. I must be getting more popular or something. You know, so now Facebook thinks it needs to humble me. So I'm being humbled now by Facebook, I guess. My thought. I don't know. Or maybe because I engaged in a nice, actually very polite discussion with one of my conservative friends that ended well. And now Facebook's like, no, you have to fight them. You didn't fight them. You agreed. That's not cool. So you shall be punished.
We shall punish you by hitting you in the arse.
Right? Hit you smack in the arse. Alrighty.
And then have a cop harass your friend, right. And
that's clearly what happened. It has 3 shares. I didn't see that at all. That's weird. Well, 1 share should be me. That should be mine, and that should be normal. And now Peppers liked it. And Donald, and okay, see, this wasn't here 5 minutes ago. That's even weirder. Because now all the normal people who normally like my comics are showing up on there. But they literally weren't there a minute ago. That is really strange. I mean, I saw Brent, but it was just Brent.
Yeah, and your feed is so buried under, we have this suggestion.
Yeah. That's really weird. Something strange here. Not sure what's going on. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Can.
You're welcome.
Hi, Kat. You can go to bed early. Yeah, maybe I should. So what do we... Okay, so let's... That actually, before you head to bed, Kat... you can eat. That's something you should do. Before you go to bed, Kat... Oh, let's make them all even. Hit Shift 1. There, even. I have a comic strip. And I'm like kind of wondering what I should do. What would be the best way to present that on Global Comics? I have some 270 strips individually. Should I do them in groups of 3? Like as if it were like a Garfield book, or, you know, like a Calvin and Hobbes book? Or should I do them individually as pages? What do you think? I don't know if I want Kat to have to suffer us as she's trying to sleep. It seems like a horrible idea. We'd give her nightmares.
I won't give her nightmares. I'm just scared for my life tonight.
So yeah, you think that like we should do it in groups of 3 or something like that? Because I'm actually making a book to be published at some point. Maybe I just do by pages. That might not be a bad idea. So like 3 to a page. I've been doing that for a while. It would give me an opportunity to also look at what 3 to a page would look like. Or like how people respond to it. Might not be a bad idea. I don't know, maybe. We really should look into selling as PDFs. The whole thing is interesting. Because, of course, you and I don't publish on PDFs like we should. So, there, I'll swap there. So it's you and your drawing. Look at that. Drawing, you, me. Okay, cool. Now you may eat in peace. I actually may go downstairs and grab a snack at some point too. Dinner was pretty light. And I went to do Japanese practice. And at Japanese practice tonight, we had all kinds of interesting discussions. You can always group releases. I'm not sure what that means. Like, as in,
You can take all of the releases and merge them into one.
oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I get it. It was not a very good class. Ours was pretty good, actually. We were getting into the discussion about shaberu versus hanaseru. That's cool. And oh yeah, mine too. I tried to explain all of the things that were going on with Bill and him helping me with the star maps thing. And I tried to explain that, and all of a sudden I'm not kidding, I was saying words that my teacher wasn't sure what they meant, and she's Japanese. So she's like, you're now starting to get into the technical terms about space, and I don't know those words. So it was kind of funny. I mean, she was cool, but she didn't know some of the words that I was looking for. I'm looking for like certain words and I can't find them. And she's like, you're far too technical. And I'm like, damn it.
Oh, now they're coming after you, guy.
Right? Man. Yep. Today's practice was the ta-ke. So we were learning about ta form. We were learning about ta form verbs and using them in sort of the base format and base rudeness and stuff. So it was kind of funny. It's an interesting thing. So, right. I'm with you. That was actually what I was saying to my teacher was I want to start each class with me telling a story first, because I feel like trying to express a story of something that happened the week before helps my brain go from seize up to loosening up a little bit, and then it starts to flow again. I mean, because like when I was in Japan, I know I wasn't speaking perfect Japanese, but everybody understood me, you know? And now it's like all I'm doing is just word salad every time I try to say anything. It's just like this mess. I'm like, what's going on? So, right. On the spot, you're always so like worried you're going to say it wrong and stuff like that. Which is why I try to tell a story right in the very beginning, because I tell the story and my teacher looks at me and okay, yeah, and then that happened, okay, yeah, you know what I mean, and that helps kind of give me a little bit of encouragement that my word salad is not quite so much a word salad. No, not quite so screwed up, like so it's not so bad. Still need to exit this scene correctly, and I'm not. We were talking about homophones today, too. Like, you know the verb haku, like to wear, but only in pants. It's not the same thing as like the same verb when you're putting on the shirt, but it's haku to put on pants. Just like that same verb apparently also means to throw up. So context is king on that one. Don't mess that one up. Oh yeah. That's always one of those things too, because every time we do this, she has these little verb sheets. It's actually so funny too, because I'm doing it with her husband. Her husband is there too, and he's in this class now because his Japanese has fallen to the point where he's he's having a hard time with it too. So he's joining in with us. And I was like going on, and we're talking about all these things like verbs, nouns, and things like that, and parts of speech. And I was saying all the parts of speech in Japanese easily, like, you know, meishi and doshi and stuff like that. All those parts of speech are easy. And he's like, why do you know that? And she turned and went, he was an English teacher in Japan. He was saying those all the time. Those are the words he always says. I'm like, yep, parts of speech. I mean, when you teach English, or when you teach English in Japanese, you have to know all the parts of speech in Japanese. So you can say, we're going to practice verbs today. We're going to practice nouns today. Whatever. So. Apparently that's my big thing, is I can totally talk in parts of speech really well. That's all I've got, though. It's pretty much all I'm working on. That's all I'm working with here, guys. That's all I got. Parts of speech.
I don't know why I'm giving this office clerk a Dilophosaurus hairstyle.
I love it, though. I'm not going to knock that. That's pretty cool.
It's like, I'm going to give them the weirdest hairstyles I can give them. Because they're office workers, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, they've got boring lives, so. Oh, hey, Kat. What do you think about the idea of conventions bringing mangaka from Japan to talk to like the art people? And what do you think about that? Do you think that'd be popular? I mean, I think it'd be awesome, but also kind of weirdo. So I get that. Okay. Also, I think it'd be like radical. Like nobody thinks about that stuff.
Which is weird, because I think, what was it, Nandesukan 3? You guys had a number of them there.
We did. And we had a lot of other... we had like Antarctic press and stuff there too.
Yeah, but you had like the guy who did Fatabaku Change there, and
We poached him from Akon. Yeah.
like, and then you guys stopped doing it. It was like that was the part that I really liked.
Yeah, you know what? We were talking tonight. So my teacher, my Japanese teacher, happens to be our connection, the person who does the connections in Japan. And that's why I'm taking Japanese classes, is because she wants me as a director to get my Japanese back up to speed, so that when she brings in Japanese guests, they can have a director with the guests. That's the battle plan. But she needs my Japanese back up to speed. And my Japanese is trash right now. So she's now taking it upon herself to sit with me and get my Japanese back up. And while she's at it, she's getting her husband back up to speed too. So, but I'm thinking, she and I were talking tonight, I'm thinking about that. And I'm like, I wonder if we could do that. That'd be kind of useful. I think we've been trying to pigeonhole ourselves by bringing in voice actors. And that's not what we should be doing with Japanese. We should be bringing in Japanese mangaka. Then the voice actors, the ones that are always more popular, has always been the English voice actors, because many more people are into the voice actors sort of thing, because they've been watching anime. But I've been talking all this time about how I feel like we've been neglecting our artists, which is a major group. Right. Well, but we could start working on it. I mean, so I was thinking about this too. The reason I thought about this, of course, is that here's my Hikigoma and my Goma, and you were talking about that. You know, the fact that pages are the gutters between panels are different sizes for manga than they are for US comics. Things like that would be, just having a rundown of that would be beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, that would be one of the biggest panels. It'd be huge. All the artists would show up for it.
Well, and you just had a con goer just tell you, why don't you do this anymore?
Yeah. Right? I mean, like, you came to our convention and you don't anymore. Well, I don't know if you don't anymore. But yeah,
I do on occasion, but it's not the same. Like, it was a lot more interesting when you could go there and you could see the mangaka come in and you could, have your books signed by them. And I thought that was fantastic. And then you stopped doing it. It was like, but that's what made you fun and unique.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Kat. I mean, I would love to have you, but that wasn't what I was really thinking. What I was thinking was, you taught me all of these things, and it's been extraordinarily useful. And if we could get a mangaka to do that, it would be high profile and very valuable. Yeah, it wouldn't matter. You know that our con is over Labor Day weekend, so it's many months from now. But I'm kind of thinking about that. I was like, why don't we get mangaka? Why don't we have them? That should be a thing.
I always thought it
honestly,
was.
No, I said that. I said that, and now I'm thinking, no, actually, Kat, you might not be a bad guest to have too. Yeah, like, I was. Part of this is just that, Kat's my buddy. I don't think about that way, and now I'm like, wait a minute, stuff. It's like, look at Kat and go,
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you know stuff.
Strong on the force she is. Yes.
Yeah, maybe that's not a bad idea. Especially if we could zip you in from remote. You have some street cred. Look at you. So yeah, I mean, if we could bring you in remote too, that'd be kind of cool. You know, like if you wanted to come in remotely, we've been trying to set up video too, so that people could connect remotely. This might not be a bad plan. I might have a good plan for this. Hey, Philip, Jake. Right? Maybe. The only problem is I can't put you up here. I would normally say you could stay here because I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. I'd love to host you here. We've got a spare bedroom. The problem, of course, is that we go there. We go to the con every year. So there's nobody here. It's at the Gaylord. Hey, Philip, Jake, we're all working on comics, actually. Can up there is working actually on his pages. I'm working on scripting, so I'm boring. There you go. Yeah, the Gaylord Rockies is huge, and it's near the airport, and it's massive, and it's epic. So, but yeah, maybe. Let me talk to the con chair, see what she thinks, because I think this is the more I think about this, the more I'm liking this idea. I've been sitting there saying we
on
tried.
the convention side, this is.
Uh-oh. Try it again. We lost you a little bit there, Can.
Okay, let me try that. No, I was saying, I think this might be a great question for me to ask you. Why did you guys stop?
Change of guard, I think. Because the area that you're the years that you're talking about, we had a different director. And our current director is not an anime fan. She's a geek, but her geekdom is somewhere else. So she's relying heavily on the people around her to tell her what is and is not valuable, because she herself does not know. So I think what happened was we didn't have any artists on the board at the time. Because I know that like artists, like working artists, not, they do art or whatever, but like I'm a working artist. And so, it's a different story. I'm a working artist, so I've got stuff to do.
Yeah.
That would be.
Because, like, that was the year you had Choo Choo Rocket as a tournament, and it was very. It felt like it was very Japanese focused. And then the later ones were. It just felt more like, hey, we're putting up a bunch of videos over here, or we're talking to these voice actors, and it felt very changed and different.
2009. Mm-hmm. I think you're right. I'm also looking to try to move us back to something similar to that. And I've been having these discussions with with the board about that, because it is kind of a curious problem.
I'm sorry if I kind of threw you into it, but
No. I actually am very much intrigued by what you're talking about. There's a lot of things that I'm thinking about tonight, and I think one of the things is that once you get into sort of a pattern where you're operating in a certain way, I feel like you kind of follow the pattern, like, and all of a sudden tonight, I was all just like shook up by talking to our translator that I didn't think about some of these other avenues, and now I'm like, why have I not thought about all these avenues? I've been on the board for a long time, and why didn't I think about this before? Seems like a shoe-in, you know.
yeah.
Seems like an obvious thing. Huh. I don't know.
Yeah, particularly
Anyway,
if you could get like the mangaka in there, I think that would be kind of really cool.
I think so too. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, why did we not think of this before? I mean, like, totally. I mean, a live draw with a mangaka, God, we'd all die. Just watching him or her draw a character.
Well,
Everybody would be like glued to it.
have you seen the videos where they have Junji Ito drawing live at some
Yeah.
of these conventions?
That'd be so badass. I totally agree. That'd be just like, I'd want to attend my own convention. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. He's so badass.
I mean, I realize it's not a cop menacing me as I'm driving down the highway, but but
No,
not everything can be high intensity like that.
Right. I think this is a great idea. No, I didn't think of this before. Or just, I mean, and Kat could come in and talk about publishing comics. And because I know that I see people trying to publish comics, or people thinking about comics, or thinking about doing comics. I think that there's a whole untapped reservoir of people there that this could be intense, Yeah. I can't promise anything, Kat. I totally thought of something tonight, so no promises on this. But we might put something like this into yeah, pie in the sky. We're totally pie in the sky.
My God, I love the way this scene is.
It's really cool.
I love the way this scene is coming together. It's so ridiculous.
I'm going to run downstairs and get food in a second here because I'm actually kind of hungry and I didn't eat enough tonight for dinner. Excuse me. So I figure I'll make you the primary for a few minutes while I go do that.
Okay.
And then Kat needs to go to bed. I need to stop making Kat talk so that bed can happen. So I'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors.
And that's when George killed the water cup. I think I'm gonna have this sign in all 3 of the booths. That would be hilarious. Oh man. Right there. B. I'm being quiet. I am so sorry.
You're being quiet.
Yeah, I'm drawing.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with drawing. It's sort of what we do on this show.
I know. How dare I focus?
Uh-huh. Weirdo.
Okay, I need at least one guy to have the pompadour.
Elvis has entered the building.
Yeah, but it's not the normal one. It's the Japanese one. So it's like extending out like 100 feet in the air.
Right. The super Japanese one.
Yeah. You know, almost like that one right there. It's so ridiculous.
Hey, Donald. It's good to see you.
How you doing, Donald? Thinking about what you just said a few minutes ago, Guy, about, you know, they were, um, the cop was just doing a check.
Mm-hmm.
I also wonder if they were also checking to see what my reaction was.
Mm-hmm. If you were to run or something like that.
Yeah. And instead, I didn't. I just, turned on my turn signal, got over, and let him pass. Which annoyed him too, because I moved over for a emergency vehicle.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Anyways, going back out from that and into happier discussions. So, are you guys starting your plans for what you're going to do this convention, or is this all part of like thinking about next year? Or
I hate to say this, but um, we
we,
we usually are 18 months out. So the odds of this happening today are a little, or relatively soon, is a little questionable.
yeah, well, that makes sense. That you'd be planning out almost a year and a half in advance.
Mm-hmm.
That actually makes more sense.
There you go. Yeah.
Because if you're planning out 6 months of what you're gonna do, that's a little fast.
Right.
I feel like I have the stairs of death over here, where you have the railing on one side but not the other.
Right.
He's on the stairway to heaven.
It's fascinating. Bill prompted me to think about some of these funny things, and so I'm actually out on Chat GPT saying, okay, tomorrow they want me to write an 8-page comic. What will you write? So I'm like fascinated by what Chat GPT is generating. Nothing that's useful, but it's fascinating.
I already have a couple ideas on stuff to do.
Mm.
But you have to, it's almost like you'd have to keep it to a panel or two.
Yeah.
You couldn't go too dense into the paneling, or else you'd lose. You wouldn't make it in time because there'd
Right.
be too much art.
Okay, so The Adventures of Space Cat is what it came up with. Page 1, panel 1. We see a close-up shot of a gray tabby cat sitting in a spaceship looking out the window with a curious expression. Panel 2. The cat's owner, a young woman named Leela, enters the cockpit and greets the cat. "Good morning, Space Cat," she says. Panel 3. Space Cat meows in response, as if acknowledging Leela's greeting. Page 2, panel 1. Leela sits down at the controls of the spaceship and begins to pilot it. Panel 2. As the spaceship flies through space, Space Cat looks out the window, observing the stars and the planets passing by. Panel 3. Suddenly, the spaceship encounters a group of space pirates who demand that Leela surrender her cargo. Page 3, panel 1. Leela refuses to surrender her cargo, and the space pirates attack the spaceship. Panel 2. This is the best part. Space Cat jumps to the controls and helps Leela steer the spaceship to avoid the pirates' attack. I'm already liking this enough that I think I'm going to go with this, because this is just that panel alone. I want to do this for just that panel right there.
Like, and you could even make it where you're not even sure if the cat is helping, because it's just like randomly pressing the buttons, like a fly or a piece of paper had landed on the controls, and now is taking everybody in that ship for a ride.
Right? Together, Leela and the Space Cat are able to outmaneuver the pirates and escape their grasp. Page 4, panel 1. The spaceship lands on a strange new planet, and Leela and Space Cat step out to explore. Panel 2. As they walk through the alien landscape, they encounter a group of friendly alien creatures. Panel 3. The aliens invite Leela and the Space Cat to a feast in their honor, and they all sit down to enjoy a delicious meal. Page 5, panel 1. During the feast, Space Cat notices that one of the aliens has a strange device attached to their heads. Panel 2. Curious, Space Cat sneaks up behind the alien and investigates the device. Panel 3. Suddenly, the device activates, and Space Cat is transported to a different part of the planet. Page 6. Space Cat finds themselves in a dark, mysterious cave filled with strange glowing crystals. Panel 2. As Space Cat explores the cave, they encountered a dangerous space creature. Panel 3. Using their cat-like reflexes and quick thinking, Space Cat is able to defeat the creature and escape the cave. Panel 7. Space Cat returns to the feast.
How? It got teleported to the other side of the planet.
The other side of the planet. Where Leela is worriedly waiting for them. Panel 2. Leela is relieved to see Space Cat safe and sound, and they both bid farewell to their new alien friends. Panel 3. As they return to their spaceship, Leela and Space Cat reflect on their exciting adventure. Page 8. Panel 1. As they blast off into space, Leela and Space Cat look forward to their next adventure. Panel 2. Space Cat meows contentedly, happy to be exploring the universe with their beloved owner. Panel 3. The spaceship flies off into the stars, leaving behind a trail of stardust. The end. I'm totally drawing this. Okay, that at first I'm like, this is stupid. And now I'm like,
This
kind of
is
like this
stupid,
actually.
but funny.
It's stupid, and I'm actually kind of liking it. Not gonna lie, I like this quite a bit.
You're gonna be set up for this, and Pepper's gonna be like, "You do know I was trolling you, right?" It's like, "Yeah,
You
but
know
I'm
what?
taking
I'm
it
totally
serious."
doing this now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this one's even weirder. I like this one too. I think some of these are more than 3 panels, though. Like, together, Leela and Space Cat are able to outmaneuver the pirates and escape their grasp. That's quite a bit. That's not one panel.
Well, and some of them were like 7 panels.
Right. I'm like, let's look at this one. Okay, so Space Cat and Leela. I have to tell it now to do Leela, otherwise it just forgets Leela. Like, Leela was never there. And I actually kind of like this Leela thing. This is funny. All right. We see a close-up shot of Space Cat sleeping soundly in their spaceship. Suddenly, the spaceship shakes and Space Cat is jolted awake. Space Cat meows in confusion and looks around, trying to figure out what's going on. Page 2. We see Space Cat trying to control the spaceship as it spins out of control. Panel 2, Leela, a human astronaut, appears on the screen and tries to communicate with Space Cat. She's no longer here, apparently. Panel 3, Leela successfully manages to communicate with Space Cat and offers to help them fix the spaceship. Page 3, Panel 1, Leela docks her spaceship with Space Cat's spaceship and boards it. Leela and Space Cat work together to fix the spaceship. Space Cat and Leela share a moment of friendship and bond over their love for space exploration. Okay, this is apparently the initial adventurers of these two. Page 3, or page 4. As they fix the spaceship, they come across a distress signal from a nearby planet. Leela and Space Cat decide to investigate the planet and help whomever sent the distress signal. They land on the planet and discover that it's inhabited by friendly aliens. We got a lot of these guys. The aliens communicate. This is page 5. The aliens communicate with Leela and the Space Cat, thanking them for coming to their aid. Leela and Space Cat help the aliens fix their spaceship and get it running again. The aliens invite Leela and Space Cat to a celebration to show their gratitude. I swear, if he gets beamed,
there's a lot of celebration that happens with these aliens.
Right. Page 6. At the celebration, Leela and Space Cat enjoy alien food and dance with the aliens. However, they soon realize that the distress signal they received was actually a trap set by an evil alien race.
No!
Space Cat team up with the friendly aliens to defeat the evil aliens and protect the planet. Page 7. Leela and Space Cat return to their spaceship, tired but victorious. Panel 2. They share a moment of reflection on their adventure and how they work together to save the planet. Panel 3. Leela and Space Cat say their goodbyes to the friendly aliens and prepare to leave the planet. Page 8. Leela and Space Cat fly off into the vast unknown of space with a newfound respect and admiration for each other. Panel 2. They reflect on their adventure and how they work together to save the planet. And they promise to explore more of the universe together and continue to help those in need. The end. It's actually kind of sweet.
Yeah.
These always start with Space Cat asleep. Like the first panel's always, we see Space Cat sleeping soundly on a spaceship control panel, with Leela standing nearby looking out into space. It's like really cute. Like they always start with Space Cat asleep at the panel.
apparently it really knows cats
I
very
know.
well. Though you need to have somewhere in there where it knocks the cup off of a counter.
Right, right. That's important. These are very simple, but they're not bad. And it would be fun to do these as little things that were just kind of like one-offs, you know? I find a certain amount of interesting satisfaction to writing things that are written by Chat GPT. Leela turns to Space Cat and pokes him gently to wake him up. Space Cat opens his eyes and stretches, yawning loudly. That's where he knocks the thing off, the cup off the thing. There's just so much. Suddenly the ship explodes.
I think that's going a little too far. Space Cat wakes up and the ship just blows up.
Suddenly the spaceship shakes and they hear a loud noise coming from the engine room. What the hell? Leela and Space Cat rush to the engine room to investigate. They discover that there's a problem with the engine and it needs to be fixed. Space Cat uses his knowledge of spaceship mechanics to fix the engine, with Leela helping out where she can. Space Cat's awesome, man. As they continue their journey, they come across a group of alien ships. They watch in awe as the alien ships fly past them. Suddenly, one of the alien ships comes under attack from a group of space pirates. These pirates are everywhere. This is like a menace.
But were they celebrating? That's what I want to know.
That's true. We haven't gotten to the celebrating part. I don't know. Leela and Space Cat quickly jump into action, heading towards the ship under attack. They fight off the space pirates and manage to save the alien. You know what? This is actually wholesome and cute. I hate to say this, but I'm actually kind of enamored by this. They're very simple. They're very cute. I like them. Oh, Leela now has curly hair. Well, this went a different direction. This is a different direction version of how they met. I don't know. This kind of is fun. Play the ball where it lies. We see Space Cat floating in the cockpit of his spaceship, sleeping soundly. It starts every one of these with Space Cat asleep.
Like a real cat.
Right? Suddenly, a bright flash of light appears in front of her. Oh, now Space Cat's a her, waking her up. Space Cat is surprised to see Leela, a young girl in a spacesuit, standing in front of her. Leela introduces herself and explains that she needs Space Cat's help to rescue her parents, who are trapped on the nearby planet. Space Cat agrees to help, and they both set off toward the planet. As they fly through space, Leela and Space Cat chat and get to know each other. As they arrive on the planet, they notice that it's covered in a thick layer of fog. They begin to explore the planet, but suddenly they hear strange noises coming from the fog. Space Cat and Leela cautiously approach the source of the noises when suddenly they're attacked by a group of hostile aliens. Space Cat fights off the aliens with her laser blaster while Leela runs to find her parents. Leela manages to locate her parents, but they're being held captive by a giant alien. Space Cat arrives just in time to help Leela defeat the giant alien and free her parents. Leela and her parents thank Space Cat for their help and offer to take her on a tour of their space station. Space Cat agrees, and they all board Leela's spaceship. As they fly through space, Space Cat and Leela become fast friends, sharing stories and laughing together. This is all in one panel. Suddenly, their spaceship is attacked by a group of guess what it is. Who could it possibly be?
Space pirates?
Rogue space pirates. Rogue.
Oh no!
Man, I've got to make the space pirate like the same guy. It just keeps attacking him over. I mean, I see. Okay, so you've seen Porco Rosso, yeah?
Yes.
You know the pirates in Porco Rosso with the beard? Just
Yeah.
the goggles and the beard. That's what I see every time I see this. And he's just got like a hat with a skull and crossbone on it to indicate he's a pirate, naturally. That's the way I see it. And then, the kids, when all the little kids have their laundry out on the wing, and that cracks me up every time. That is one of my, I love Porco Rosso. Porco Rosso is my favorite, absolute favorite of the Ghibli flicks. I will watch Porco Rosso all day long and all night long. I love it. And of course, it's got planes. Right? Like the Buck Rogers pirates. I mean, like, they're just like, oh my God. These are real pirates here. Like, you can tell because they've got the skull and crossbones. Leela's parents are injured in the attack, and it's up to Space Cat and Leela to defend the ship. Space Cat and Leela work together to defeat the space pirates and save the ship. Leela's parents are grateful to Space Cat and offer to take her on as their official space security guard.
There you go.
Happily accepts their offer, and they all fly off to space together. As they fly through space, Leela and Space Cat reflect on their adventure and all the fun they had together. Page 8. Leela and her parents drop Space Cat off at her spaceship and say their goodbyes. Okay, I guess that's a thing. Hey, do you want to be our guard? Yeah. Okay, cool. Bye.
See ya.
Play the ball where it lies, guy. Play the ball where it lies. If you're going to use a randomizer, you got to play it where it goes because that's the best part. Leela and her parents drop Space Cat off at her spaceship and say their goodbyes. Space Cat waves goodbye as she flies off into the vast expanse of space. Space Cat looks back at the space station, feeling grateful for the new friends she's made and the adventures she's had. The end. Okay, I'm saving that one too, because that's not right, and I like it. I like the fact that it always starts with Space Cat sleep. It cracks me up the most. Oh my God. These are actually kind of cute and they're simple. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's very complicated. Or even the pirates who attacked have union cards. I mean, I'm just saying. This is entertainment. This is superly high entertainment. I'm totally on board with this entertainment. It's ridiculous and I like it. All right. How many more should we do? Like 2 more? Let's do 2 more. Let's find out what happened next to Space Cat. We see Space Cat lounging on a windowsill. Like I said, it's every time Space Cat starts out asleep. It's a cat and a girl. I don't know if they'd ever fall in love. That seemed weird. But I mean, who knows? Maybe. I don't judge. Okay, we see Space Cat lounging on a windowsill. Suddenly, a small spaceship crashes into the side of the building. This is another. It really likes the idea of, you know what? I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write an 8-page comic about a team of space adventurers called Space Cat and Leela. Let's see if it actually does something different with this, because it keeps doing
an origin story.
Yeah, it keeps doing origin stories. And oh, now we see Space Cat and Leela decked out in space gear, standing in front of a large spaceship. They introduce themselves as the leaders of the Cosmic Adventure Squad. Okay. They should be called the Cosmic Adventurer Team, then it'd be Cat. They welcome a group of new recruits to their team. I don't know, this is kind of wholesome. Write an 8-page comic about Space Cat and her owner, Leela. There we go. Wow, Space Cat and the Lost Planet. It's got a title this time. We see Leela, a young girl, and her cat, Space Cat, sitting in their living room. Okay. Leela is reading a book about the mysteries of the universe. Space Cat is staring out into the window, looking bored. Suddenly, the television screen flickers to life. An emergency broadcast appears on the screen. Warning of a lost planet that is hurtling towards Earth. Wow. Leela and Space Cat spring into action. Apparently, they have a bat cave, which would be a cat cave. They gather supplies and hop into their spaceship. They blast off into space, ready to find the lost planet. Space Cat takes the helm, while Leela mans the navigation console. This is actually kind of cool. They encounter various obstacles along the way, including asteroid fields and hostile alien ships. That's all one panel. They manage to navigate around each obstacle with ease. Okay. They finally arrive at the lost planet, which is covered in dense fog. We've seen this from before. Leela and Space Cat put on their spacesuits and venture out into the planet's surface. They encounter strange, otherworldly creatures. They use their wits to outsmart the creatures and make their way deeper into the planet. They discover that the planet is actually a spaceship built by an alien civilization. They explore the spaceship, discovering incredible technology and hidden chambers. They stumble upon a mysterious crystal, which seems to hold immense power. Suddenly, they hear a loud noise and realize that the planet is about to self-destruct. They quickly gather the crystal and make a mad dash back to their spaceship. They manage to escape the planet just in time, narrowly avoiding an explosion. Leela and Space Cat return to Earth, safely landing their spaceship. They return the crystal to the authorities, who thank them for their bravery. Leela and Space Cat return home, exhausted, but proud of their incredible adventure. It's actually not bad.
No.
I'm actually kind of somewhat disturbed at how well
that flows.
Right? It has to end with Space Cat getting good scritches. This is important.
Course.
We're missing out on scritches.
Because scritch time is happy time.
Right? Ask George. I'm not gonna lie, kind of liking some of these. Do me a new one. What other stories do we have about Space Cat? Space Cat and the Intergalactic Mystery. Well, oh, AI storyteller, do tell. Sadly, I'm actually kind of horrified to find that I'm entertained. More entertained than I expected I would be, and somewhat disturbed by that. We see Leela sitting at her computer, studying a map of the galaxy. Space Cat jumps up onto the desk and meows at Leela. That makes some sense. Leela looks at Space Cat and realizes that something is wrong. Space Cat leads Leela to the window, where they see a mysterious spaceship hovering above their city. Leela knows that she and Space Cat need to investigate. They hop onto their spaceship and take off to chase the mysterious craft. They follow the spaceship through a series of twists and turns until it finally lands on an unknown planet. You know what I really like about this? Clearly, that ship just came over and hovered above their house, waiting for them to chase it.
Yeah.
Leela and the Space Cat.
They got buzzed by that ship.
But it hung around long enough to be chased. Anyway. Oh no, here we go. They follow the spaceship, so Leela and Space Cat exit their spaceship and begin exploring the planet. They discover that the planet is, just guess what this planet is covered in.
Fog?
Dense fog. Making it difficult to see. As they walk through the fog, they hear strange noises and see a glimpse of movement. Suddenly, they're attacked by a group of alien creatures. Leela and Space Cat fight back, but they're outnumbered. Just as things look dire, a group of friendly aliens appear. These aliens are called the Deus Ex Machina aliens. To their aid, the aliens explain that they've been battling the mysterious spaceship and its crew for years. Leela and Space Cat realize that they've stumbled into an intergalactic conflict.
Not another one.
The aliens offer to help Leela and Space Cat defeat the mysterious spaceship and its crew. They devise a plan and set off on a mission. Leela and Space Cat are determined to help the aliens and stop the mysterious ship. They engage in a fierce battle with the mysterious spaceship and its crew. Leela and Space Cat use their skills and quick thinking to gain the upper hand. They finally manage to defeat the crew and destroy the spaceship. Leela and Space Cat return to their own spaceship, tired but victorious. They bid farewell to their new alien friends and set off for home. As they fly through space, Leela and Space Cat reflect on their adventure and realize that there's a whole universe out there to explore. The end. I like how they... Oh, wow, there's a universe out here. I mean, we have an intergalactic spaceship, but we didn't notice this before. I mean, it's simple, but I'm actually kind of finding them cute.
Like, you could totally do this in, like, the style of Here's Michael.
Right?
Where they don't even talk.
That's totally what I was thinking. I was thinking there's no dialogue in any of this. I think it's disgustingly adorable. I'm totally on board. We need to do a lot of these. My cute little Space Cat and Leela. Side story of Space Cat and the electrostatic bad hair planet. Oh no, Donald, you broke Ken. Okay, that's it, Donald. We're marking that down. It's happening. Side story by Donald. Bye, Donald. Oh,
Oh,
Space Cat and the electrostatic bad hair.
bad hair planet.
I'm in.
Because I'm just getting this picture of like you have Space Cat, and it's right here, and he's just all puffed up.
Poof. Okay, let's see what we got now.
You know, he's all like super poofed up.
Oh, see now, we had to mention that this was like all written with no dialogue, because this one specifically then says, Leela looks down at Space Cat and tells her about her dream of exploring the universe.
Well, you could do that without dialogue.
That's
You
true.
could have her, you know, she's saying something, but you could have it where
In the bubble above her head where it's the universe.
or have the bubble above her head just be like squiggly lines like this. Like she's talking to Space Cat and going into this big thing, and Space Cat's just not understanding, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not about whether or not Space Cat understands. She's giving her own feeling about it.
Right. It's another origin story. ChatGPT is really into origin stories. We see Leela, a young girl, sitting in her room looking out the window at the stars. Her cat, Space Cat, jumps into her lap. Leela looks down at Space Cat and tells her about her dream of exploring the universe. Leela falls asleep and dreams of traveling through space with Space Cat by her side. They encounter various alien species and explore strange new planets. Leela wakes up and decides to make her dream a reality. Leela uses her knowledge of science and technology to build a spaceship. She and Space Cat blast off into space. They encounter a group of friendly aliens who offer to show them around their home planet. Leela and Space Cat explore the planet and make new discoveries. They come across a group of hostile aliens who challenge them to a battle. Leela and Space Cat use their knowledge and skills to defeat the aliens. Leela and Space Cat continue their journey through space. They come across a planet that is being threatened by a dangerous asteroid. Leela and Space Cat work with the planet's inhabitants to come up with a plan to divert the asteroid. Leela and Space Cat successfully divert the asteroid and save the planet. They receive a hero's welcome from the planet's inhabitants. Leela realizes that that she wants to continue her journey and explore even more of the universe. Leela and Space Cat encounter a group of intergalactic traders who offer to trade with them. They trade various items, including new technology and information about the universe. Obviously, do not know the Prime Directive here, folks. They learn about a mysterious planet that is said to hold great secrets. They set off for the mysterious planet, and they discover a hidden underground laboratory that contains advanced technology. They decide to use the technology to continue their journey and explore even more of the universe. The end. What about the planet with the old secrets thing? I want to know about that.
But
Oh, well.
you know what you could do is you could actually have for the first page where Leela and Space Cat are asleep, and the second panel coming off of Leela is you could have a thought bubble and it leads into the second panel. So you could have this all be the dream of Leela.
Yeah. Like all of these things are Leela's dreams.
Yeah.
In this one, Leela and Space Cat apparently have found a secret laboratory where they're building a faster than light spaceship. And so they ask if they can test it, and the scientists are like, yeah, sure.
Hey, not a problem.
Random kid and cat comes in. Sure. Oh, man. I think it's taking the term comic too literally. Like, these are all children's book style, which is fine because I'm finding this very wholesome and cute. And I'm actually kind of enamored with this. But I also feel like they're taking it just a little too literally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it's going a hair over on the literal stuff. Right?
Like,
Kid's
these are
smarter
all
than all of mankind.
like, these are all kids' books.
Yeah, which is fine. I don't have a problem with it. I've never really had a reason to write a kid's book before. Okay, I'm going to change the prompt and see what we get. I feel like we're getting the same kind of story over and over and over, which is interesting. Space Cat, what? Resist the urge to tramp through kitty litter, causing zero gravity kitty litter would not be fun.
And that's when Leela quit.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what happens if I make it generate a short story instead of a comic. So I'm wondering if there's... Yeah, now we've got dialogue. This is curious. Leela sat at the helm of her spaceship, gazing into the infinite expanse of space. She loved being a space explorer and had spent the past few years traveling the galaxy with her faithful companion, Space Cat. Space Cat was curled up next to her, purring contentedly. Leela smiled and scratched behind her ears. Suddenly, the spaceship's computer beeped, alerting Leela to an incoming transmission. She pressed a button and a holographic image of a humanoid alien appeared before her. "Greetings, travelers," the alien said with a strange robotic voice. "I am X-25, Captain of the Galactic Federation. We have detected a dangerous anomaly in your vicinity. You must evacuate the area immediately." Leela and Space Cat exchanged worried glances. They had encountered many dangers during their travels, but they'd never received a warning quite like this one before. "Can you give us more information about this anomaly?" Leela asked. X-25 shook his head. "I'm sorry, but we don't have any more information at this time. All we know is that it poses a significant threat to your safety." Leela considered her options. She could heed the warning and leave the area, but that would mean abandoning her mission, or she could ignore the warning and continue on her course, risking danger. She looked down at Space Cat, who was still purring softly. Space Cat's got like no fear, man. Leela knew that she couldn't risk Space Cat's safety, no matter what. "Thank you for the warning, X-25, Leela said. "We'll evacuate the area immediately." She steered the spaceship away from their course and blasted off into space. As they flew further and further away from the danger zone, Leela couldn't help but feel disappointed. She had been so close to discovering a new planet that could potentially support life. But as she looked over at Space Cat, snuggled up beside her, she realized that her faithful companion was more important than any mission. She smiled and scratched Space Cat's ears once more. "Don't worry, girl," Leela said. "We'll find something even better on our next adventure." Okay? What a mess. I don't know. I mean, that one was. I feel like we've run off of the cute, but the cute was going around in circles, right? It was like, I don't know. The cute wasn't. Uh, Space Cat let out a worried meow, sensing the gravity of the situation. "It's a space joke. Gotcha." Hmm. I mean, it's not bad. Let's see what it'll give me with an 8-page script.
Hey, Black Bats.
Hey, Black Bat. It's all right, Neon. You guys, you're here good enough. It's good enough. We're fine. We're good. We're all fine now. How are you? I don't know. The 8-page script is giving an 8-page script seemed to be. It's cute. Okay. So, Neon, here's what we're doing. I've spun. So, Pepper during the day, Pepper has put a challenge out for us to draw an 8-page comic tomorrow morning for reasons, and I'm actually still not sure what Pepper's after, but Pepper wants to do an 8-page comic tomorrow, so that's cool. So we're doing that. So I was like, I don't have a script for an 8-page comic. So Pepper's husband at some point in time decided to use ChatGPT to write code for me, which was funny. Okay, no problem. But then I thought about it. I was like, oh, I wonder what would happen if I plugged in at ChatGPT a script. And it came up with these weird stories that are actually kind of cute and very wholesome and sound like they're simple enough that I could probably use them to write, cute little stories. So that's where we are right here, is we're going through what what Chat GPT has decided is a story. And some of them are actually kind of adorable. So, okay. Are you excited because... Oh, because it's kind of a space cat and a galactic tuna. So, funnier if you're a Macross fan. So here we go. So somewhere along, so I started with Space Cat. I just was like, write me a story about Space Cat. So you have to understand that during this time, somehow the AI has generated all of these things like Leela, which is apparently Space Cat's owner. We found that out later on. So now we're at Leela and Space Cat. Okay, so here we go. Space Cat and Leela journey through the cosmos. We see Leela and Space Cat on their spaceship, with Leela at the controls, and Space Cat lounging on a cushion. Well, at least Space Cat's back to a cushion now. Leela checks the ship's systems and adjusts their course. Space Cat looks out the window, gazing at the stars outside. Leela and Space Cat receive a distress signal from a nearby planet. They land the ship and explore the planet. They find a group of aliens trapped in a cave, unable to escape. Leela and Space Cat work together to rescue the aliens. How? We don't know. The aliens are grateful and invite Leela and Space Cat to their village. They learn about the planet's unique ecosystem and culture. Leela and Space Cat encounter a problem with the ship's engines. They work together to fix the engines, with Space Cat providing moral support. I think like a couple of adventures ago, Space Cat was the one with the know-how to fix the engines. Now she just provides moral support. The engines are fixed, and they continue their journey through space. Leela and Space Cat land on a planet with a harsh, arid landscape. They encounter a group of scavengers who try to steal their ship. Leela and Space Cat fight off the scavengers and flee the planet. Leela and Space Cat then find themselves lost in an asteroid field. They navigate their way through the dangerous rocks, with Space Cat using his sharp reflexes to help. See, now he's back to being, or she, I guess she's back to being sharp and engaged. They emerge on the other side, unscathed, but shaken. Leela and Space Cat encounter a strange sentient being on a deserted planet. The being seems to have knowledge of the universe's secrets. So Leela and Space Cat listen intently as the being imparts its wisdom. This is totally the end of the story here, because now they're super, Okay, Leela and Space Cat say goodbye to the being and continue their journey. They reflect on the adventures they've had so far and the lessons they've learned. They look out at the vast expanse of space before them, excited for the next leg of their journey. The end. Aww. Space Cat and the hairball that got away. Donald keeps coming up with even weirder stories. I like Donald's versions of these stories too. Curious. Oh, Space Cat and Leela's Space Odyssey. I'm sorry, but I can't do that, Leela. Okay, I'm done. Oh, Space Cat's the ones Boy, these engines keep getting broken all the freaking time. You gotta get better engines. Just saying. Oh no, Leela said something. She's not said anything before. Now she's saying stuff, man. This is a new thing. Leela can talk, apparently. Neither one of them have been talking this entire time. Okay, here we go, guys. This is the last one, and then we're going to go to bed. Hello, Alfie.
Hey, Alfie.
Or don't trust them into a cat and a child. I know, right? There's a reason why you shouldn't be giving. But you remember, somewhere along the line in one of these randomly generated stories, they stole the ship. Well, they didn't steal the ship. They just went downstairs and like these scientists said, "Sure, have the ship."
Yeah, just randomly.
So they
Yeah,
just gave the
here it
ship
is.
to a girl and a cat. Okay, it's a thing. It's a thing. Okay, here we go. Last story, and then we're done for the night. Space Cat and Leela, the Space Odyssey. Leela is sitting at the controls of her spaceship, flipping switches and pressing buttons. You'd think you wouldn't do. Oh, come on. Space Cat is curled up beside her, watching intently. You're just trying to see what buttons she pushes, like the self destruct button. Leela glances over at Space Cat and smiles. We're going on a grand adventure, Space Cat, she says. Leela and Space Cat blast off into space, their ship hurtling through the stars. They fly past glowing nebula and distant galaxies. Leela and Space Cat marvel at the beauty of the universe around them and the speed that they're going. Suddenly, the ship's engines sputter. Uh-oh, and the ship lurches. Leela panics, but Space Cat remains calm. His tail, gender change, his tail swishing back and forth. Leela works frantically to fix the engines while Space Cat watches, offering support and encouragement. Leela succeeds in fixing the engines, and the ship roars back to life. Leela and Space Cat breathe a sigh of relief. Suddenly, they hear a distress signal coming from a nearby planet. Leela and Space Cat land on the planet and are greeted by a group of alien creatures. The aliens tell Leela and Space Cat about a dangerous monster that is terrorizing their village. Leela and Space Cat agree to help and set off to defeat the monster. Leela and Space Cat enter a dark, eerie cave. They hear the monster's roar and see its glowing eyes in the darkness. They battle the monster using all their skills and courage. Finally, they defeat the monster, but not without a few scratches and bruises. The aliens celebrate and thank Leela and Space Cat. They take off from the planet knowing that they made a difference in the lives of the aliens. They continue their journey through space, their ship zooming past planets and stars. Leela turns to Space Cat and says, "We may face challenges, but we'll always have each other." Space Cat purrs contentedly, his eyes closed, knowing that with Leela by his side, there was nowhere else he'd rather be. The end. We don't know. So Alfie, I asked ChatGPT to give me an 8-page script about a space cat. And after like 2 iterations, it added Leela. We don't know who Leela is. The AI did. So now it's Leela and Space Cat. Cool. What we have learned so far is that apparently Leela and Space Cat went down to the local place where a laboratory is, a hidden secret laboratory, walked downstairs where they were building a faster than light spaceship, asked them if they could get on board, and the scientist said, "Yeah, sure, here," and gave them the keys. So that's how this whole story started. We don't know anything else besides this. It's been really funny. This has been really cool. Right? Like just random scientists building a ship somewhere in a hidden laboratory.
And then they just give them the ship.
Give them the ship. This has been quite the ride tonight, Alfie. We have been enjoying this ChatGPT problem. So tomorrow I think I'm going to try to draw one of these stories because it was just disgustingly cute and ridiculously stupid. And I'm enjoying it quite a bit. And it was a lot of fun. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was the very first one. No, tomorrow morning here, because, of course, we're on the other side of the world. So right now it's midnight here. So tomorrow morning is 9 a.m. our time, which would be what? 3.
So he's going to be doing one in the morning with Pepper, and I'll be doing one in the evening when I get in
Yep.
at
So
night.
if you catch us tomorrow after school, for you, we'll show you what we came up with, what kind of mess we made. Probably, odds are good it's going to be messy. So stick in with us tomorrow night or tomorrow after school, and you'll see what we did. So just check in with us then. It'd be awesome.
But you'll be able to see mine live because I'll
Right.
be doing mine live.
He'll still be working on it. So, yeah, so the first one was we see a close-up shot of a gray tabby cat sitting in a spaceship looking out the window with a curious expression. The cat's owner, a young woman named Leela, enters the cockpit and greets the cat. "Good morning, Space Cat," she says. Space Cat meows in response, as if acknowledging Leela's greeting. That was the first line. But the best part was that on page 3 here was where it got even. Do it with us. I mean, we don't stick around for much longer, though, but you can hang out with us for a while. Page 3 then is, these space pirates decide that they want her cargo, and she refuses to surrender her cargo, and the space pirates attack the spaceship. And Space Cat jumps into the controls and helps Leela steer the ship. It was the best part. I'm like seeing this cat. Oh, man. I'm glad your art got moved, though. I don't know. I guess I kind of feel like I should put a cat in a spacesuit. I feel like it should be a cat in a spacesuit. I feel like that's just like a thing. It totally does. It leaves so many wonderful questions unanswered. We know nothing. We know nothing. We will just make this. See what happens when I start writing this tomorrow. Oh, man. Because I'm digging this. This is really funny. The first 5 stories start with, "We see Space Cat sleeping soundly." All of them did. And then all of a sudden they kept going to all these planets that were foggy. Then they kept getting attacked by pirates. It was just so funny. I love it.
They would encounter aliens celebrating.
Right?
And then get attacked by space pirates.
Right? And then we all of a sudden got a bunch of origin stories that were all in a row. Right? Because this one then is, "We see Space Cat sleeping soundly while Leela, a young girl with curly hair," so we know she has curly hair, "approaches the ship. Leela is in awe of the spaceship." So suddenly, this is an origin story. Then the next one was, "We see Space Cat floating in the cockpit of her spaceship." And then there was a bright flash of light, and Space Cat is surprised to see Leela, a young girl in a spacesuit, standing in front of her. So it's another origin story. And then all of a sudden it switched to, I know, it's we don't know anything. She could be 2 or 13 or 29. I'm a pretty old guy. At this point in time, I find mid-20s to be kids now, Now it's getting to the point where all you people are young. And then we have all these planets that are lost and covered in dense fog. It's very adorable. All of these things are very cute. It'll take some finagling to get some of these to work together.
Okay, how does that panel look to you?
I love that panel. Super, super complicated. Yeah, right. A young girl is a very broad term. Could be a 2-year-old. So I feel like Space Cat and the Lost Planet comes after the other one, where the Intergalactic Mystery. And the Intergalactic Mystery looks like it's another one of those things. Yeah, because it looks. I think Space Cat and Leela's Intergalactic Adventure is the first story, right? Because this is the one where Leela, a young girl sitting in her room looking out the window, her cat, Space Cat, jumps onto her lap. She looks down at Space Cat and tells her about her dream of exploring the universe, right?
Right.
Oh, wait, this is the one where she builds her own spaceship. I must not have copied it. The one where Space Cat was, where she just went downstairs and.
Was that one of the script ones?
Oh, it's the Intergalactic Adventure. Maybe. Oh, these are different. Because I feel like this one's kind of the first one. I like the idea of her just going downstairs randomly and. Okay, Space Cat. We see Leela in her bedroom gazing up at the stars through her window. This is the one where it goes, her cat, Space Cat, jumps under her bed and looks at her expectantly. She gets an idea and begins to pack her bag. What idea? Doesn't really matter. Leela and Space Cat sneak out of the house and make their way to a secret laboratory. They meet with a group of scientists who are working on a top secret project. The scientists reveal that they've developed a new spacecraft capable of traveling faster than the speed of light. Leela and Space Cat are asked to test out the spacecraft. Naturally, they strap in and take off into space. They marvel at the sights around them as they travel at incredible speeds. That's the first one. We're keeping that one, man. Right? Where's this kid's parents? It's like, we just let these kids go. I guess so. I love this. This is totally bizarre. The aliens take Leela and Space Cat to their leader, who reveals that their planet is in danger. The aliens are initially hostile, but Space Cat manages to win them over with her charm. Okay. I'm writing this, man. It's happening. I'm just saying, this is happening. Right? It's like an 8-year-old to just randomly wander out, pack their bags, and then go get a spaceship. What are the parents doing? Like, no, you know what? Leela's gone again, isn't she? Yep. Even aliens. Everyone loves a cat. It's a known thing. This is a known thing. Everybody knows this. It's a rule. It's an intergalactic rule. Okay. I love this. We've got it. I think we've got about 7 or 8 of these little 8-page AI-generated adventures. I don't know what to do about the one where Leela, a young girl with curly hair, approaches the ship. This one seems like this one just doesn't fit. Space Cat and Leela race up the mountain, but Leela quickly takes the lead.
The curly haired one, give her a different name.
Or yeah, maybe that's not a bad idea. Like the Leela and this curly haired one, maybe she is like a 5-year-old or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Oh yeah, that's normal. She'll be back in a few weeks, maybe a year or two. She'll be fine. Totally. Yeah, nothing. What could possibly go wrong? What is wrong with these parents? Okay, sleeping on. Yeah, here's the other one where I feel like this one's where her parents are trapped in a nearby planet. Well, we found out where her parents are, Alfie. They're trapped in a nearby planet, apparently. So we see Space Cat floating in the cockpit of her spaceship, sleeping soundly. Suddenly, a bright flash of light appears, waking her up. Space Cat is surprised to see Leela, a young girl in a spacesuit, standing in front of her. Leela introduces herself and explains that she needs Space Cat's help to rescue her parents who are trapped in a nearby planet. Space Cat agrees to help, and they both set off towards the planet. As they fly through space, Leela and Space Cat chat and get to know each other. So that's clearly where it was. Is this planet that's covered in a thick layer of fog. All planets
Of course it does.
I mean, like, that's a given. Okay, so I feel like Space Cat and the Lost Planet is story 2. That's the one where the spaceship shows up above the planet and then they just chase the spaceship because the planet waits for them to get there. That one's story 2, I feel like. Right? What does your kid do for fun? Now you know the usual. She fights aliens and builds spaceships with a talking cat. Some of these are just so weird. It's 12:15. We really should go to bed.
Yeah.
We'll
I'm
do
actually almost done here.
Yeah, we'll do a Space Cat later.
So there we go. I have a page done.
I was just fighting. Just fighting these different aliens. It took longer than normal. I do like that too. I love that page. Good night.
I love how, like, I love this style because this is storytelling too, just in one panel because there's so much going on.
Right.
It just lets you explore.
Right. I love it. It's a great thing. But it is 12:15 and I got a kid to get to school in the morning.
All right. Well,
don't forget, you updated God's Bane earlier on Monday.
Oh, yeah, we need to check that out.
Yep, I agree. Good night, Alfie. Or good day, Alfie, I guess, because it's to the end. Have a good rest of the day. See you later, Cat. I hope you all have a wonderful evening and a wonderful day. You're right. Good night, good morning. We don't know. And as always, remember to keep your eyes on the stars. Good night.
Bye.